What's up everybody, Boostown GB here coming at you, and we're going to be doing some maintenance on the Shitbox, preferably, or exactly, the fuel filter. On performance applications, to maintain the best performance and the tuning that you have already set, always make sure your fuel filter is clean. A dirty filter will restrict fuel flow, thus reducing power. You could get fuel surge, and on a boosted application could run into some real fuel starvation issues and possible leaning it out, and leaning out a boosted engine is not a good thing. So there's a big fucking fly around here, but anyway, so we're gonna pull it off. And it's a clear filter, so I can clearly see that it is dirty as hell. Now, it's just on here with some tiny hose clamps. And there's no fuel in the system, so I don't have to worry about any fuel spray. But if you have fuel in your system and you have a fuel filter in line like this, just be wary of the fuel spray that might occur. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these lines off. I haven't changed or cleaned this thing out in quite a while. Alright, there's a little bit of fuel draining out, but it's not too big of a deal. So, show you how much crap there is. And that whole glob down there is fuel, or not fuel, dirt. So it's got a pretty decent amount of dirt in there. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and show you just what we're dealing with. So. Now, I want to point out that there's a few different styles of fuel filters, and there's a clear one like this where you can see the internals and the fuel flow and all that. I like it because I can see what I'm dealing with, and there's also bigger filters like this that go inline, and they show the arrow which way the fuel flows. So there's this one. There's a bunch of different styles. I only have two to show you. There's also, this isn't a fuel filter, but it's an oil filter, and it's the same idea. They're screw-on style filters that have a, I don't know, top here, and then a line, and then out. And it's the same idea as an oil filter. It screws on, and there you go. So there's those few styles, and there's also specialty ones on certain cars that you need to have, I believe. So we're gonna go and crack this open. Might not need wrenches to do so, and it looks like we're gonna need some tools to actually open this thing up. So alright, so I'm not using the exact proper equipment since I'm using some pliers right here, but it's half inch wrench. You just grab on, give it a twist, and then you can unscrew it. It unscrews from here. You got one side, it looks like there's some water in the fuel as well. You pull the glass screen, the glass out, and then you got all this. I have a fuel cell in it. It's about 25 years old, and it has anti-slosh sponges in it, which keep the fuel from sloshing around, obviously, under high acceleration or turning. So I'm going to further pull the filter apart and show you that. So you gotta make sure those holes aren't blocked, because that will reduce the fuel flow. And actually gonna move this stuff over. And grab another rag. Put that one there. Use this one. And just clean it off. I'm not going to use any cleaner or anything. Blow through it, make sure it's clean. And then on this filter element, just gonna wipe it down. I know you're supposed to put new ones in, but I'm all set with doing that. Just clean that out. Highly recommend using carb cleaner or any cleaning solution like that to do this. But if you don't have any of that, or do, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so to clean this, since there's some dirt that's inside, you take a screwdriver, you take your rag right there, then you just spin it on, pull it off, clean the rag off a bit, do the same, flip it around, and it should be pretty damn clean in there. Then go ahead and wipe down the outside. And then that is some clean glass. So then on that, do the same thing as you did to the other side. This one's got some dirt in there, so I'm gonna spend a little extra time. And also, one thing I should mention is there's O-rings right in there and on this side too. Twin O-rings. Now, if they look like, if you take a screwdriver and poke them, they should be a little bit soft for the sealing, but if they're like jello and they fall out and they're really big and oversized, then you need to replace them, because the fuel is seeping in and eating away at the rubber. If they're all dried out and cracked, replace them as well, because it's always mid-run when stuff like that fails. So make sure that's clean again, and then put it back together. This one, I don't know how old this filter is, but it's fairly old. They make them a little different, at least the glass ones like this. And I don't believe any motorsports allows glass filters because of the risk of it, you know, getting cracked and breaking open. So if you're gonna go that route with an inline filter, definitely go with a completely sealed style. Like that metal. It's big, so it can hold a lot, and it lasts a lot longer because of the size. So, and it's the same idea. But I like the glass filter. I know where it is, or I know where it is. It's easy to get to, and you're just gonna want to tighten this back up. Put your wrench back on it. Should have another wrench on this side, but didn't want to keep you guys waiting. Crank it pretty good. Snug. That should be good. And then you have a clean filter. There's other ways you can replace the element inside, but I don't want to have to buy stuff for this truck no more. I already put enough money into it. But this will always be a sure way to make sure you got adequate fuel flow into your engine, and show you a close-up of the crap that came out. Unsure if you can see that. But it's all that sand and spongy shit. So that's not good. That impedes the fuel flow and restricts your engine power. If you leave it too long, it'll eventually plug up and you will have no fuel flow, and that will make your car not start. So always keep your filter nice and clean. Don't overlook it. If your car don't start, first thing to check is the fuel filter. If you hear the fuel pump on but it's not starting, check the fuel filter. It could be plugged, and there you go. So if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe if you want, and also check me out on Instagram, BoosttownGP, for the latest scoop on secret projects, projects yet to come, and extra content that might not need a video in itself to be featured on this channel. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep it boosted.